Okay, hi guys. You're going to need to complete exercise 14B today, please. And the first part of it is just reading and interpreting box and whisker plots. So remember, we've got the 5-number summary here. So we've got the minimum value, the maximum value, so that's 2 values. The one in the middle, you know, is the median quarter time, so Q1, the lower quartile. You work that out, which is half of, well, it's a quarter of the whole value, or half of the half, and the upper quartile, which is Q3, or the 75th percentile. We can find all of these out from our graphics calculator. So I'm just going to walk you through how we do this on the calculator. Then we want to put these numbers in. So this will go on list 1, this will go on list 2. So we grab our calculator, and if you've opened yours up like me, then what would happen is you've probably got information already in there. So just to remind you, we press F6. Oh, and by the way, to get into here, we go into stats mode number 2. So to get into here, we want to delete this now, and we press F6 for more. We've got the delete all option. Do we really want to? Yes. F1, move across, and we just do the same process again to delete. And now it's a simple matter of typing these values in. So we're going to go 21, 25, and so on. So we've just put 21, enter 25, and we keep on going. We'll just pause while I fill them all in. Okay, so we've got all the data entered in now, and we want to graph this now. So we want to get our graph option here, so we press graph F1, and then we're going to select, so push our set button. We want a median box plot, so we move our cursor down. We don't want scatter, we don't want any of these, so we push our arrow key for more, and we'd like the median box. And our first box is going to be list 1, and the frequency is just 1, because that data occurs just as an individual set. Okay, we're good there, we're good. I guess on this one we can change the color of the box if we wanted to. Let's go with feeling green today. So we'll go with green. We'll press exit. And while we're here, we're going to set graph 2. Oops, we're going to set. So I had to press set. We've already got graph 1 how we want it. So now graph 2. We want to scroll down, and this one's done it nicely for us. So again, if it wasn't selected as median box, you would have to make sure you do select it. Our data for graph 2 is indeed in list 2, and the frequency is 1. And we can change that color. I think the last one was green. Let's try magenta. Haven't really played a lot with that sort of thing. So we press exit. Now if I press graph 1, the first graph draws. If I press graph 2, the second graph draws. To have them both together, I press select, and I need both of them to press on, so make sure that they're both on. We press draw, and I get my 2 box and whisker plots. If I want to know what values there are on here, because I would have to transfer this and draw this into my book, I can press shift trace, and so I get my minimum value here is 13, and if you scoot along, I can move my arrow down, get all the little values in between, move it up again. So it's going from 13 to 43. Okay, and I would then choose an appropriate scale for my number line and draw that, making sure that when I do draw it in my book, that the width of these boxes, going up and down, is the same, because you can't have one looking a lot taller than the other one. Now if we compare our box and whiskers to the one in the diagram here, I'll just again show you how we got this data. You'll notice that they've got these little stars here. This is the outliers. Remember, outliers are extreme values, and on our calculator you can actually, 2 ways, you could actually remove them yourself from the list, or you can see here when we're setting the graph, you've got this option, and if you turn that on, and we'll press exit and go back to set, and I think graph 1, yep, I haven't turned that on as well. if we turn outliers on and then we go to select, have them both on, draw, you can see here that the outliers are then taken out. This one they didn't take it out because their calculation for an outlier is slightly different. So, but we don't need to go into that massively here. So, for the questions that you're going to do in the next couple of chapter exercises, if you've got the outliers on or off, I'm not overly phased with that. So you're okay. And just remember that if you want all the data, you press this one var, and nothing happens, because it's asking you which one do we want the data of. So you can see I can hover around here, so you could have gone shift trace and got your data, or you could have pressed that one var, press enter, and then all of that comes up again and back to draw, and you've got that. So press it again, one var, and now if we want it for this one, you can see again it changes. So press the arrow key up, we want it for the big one, press enter, and I get all my data again, and scroll down. But I think the easiest way, if you want to draw these, is to just go shift trace, and then you can see that you've got the minimum, you've got the Q1, and so on, you've got all your values. Okay, so we do that, and then once you've seen the two, this is what we call the parallel box and whisker plots, you can then compare them. You can see that this one is more consistent, this one seems to be more spread out. You can talk about the range and so on. So please have a read of all of this, because you will be having to do that. So question 2 and 3 are actually just reading off from the graphs themselves, but then for these questions you're having to type that data in and come up with your box and whisker plots and draw them yourself. So hopefully that helps and you're able to do these questions quite well. Okay, that's it.